Hi everybody, welcome back. So in this video,
as much as I complain about men and dating on this app, I have to acknowledge one thing that really gives me hope and comforts me when I'm just feeling down and out and kind of hopeless about this whole dating thing. Having strong platonic relationships with men, specifically black men. I can't begin to explain how important I think it is for women to have platonic relationships with men where they are being respected, where the end goal isn't for the man to date you or be with you romantically or sexually in any way, where you can talk about your hobbies, your likes and dislikes, how your day was. I think that's invaluable as a single black woman because I realized a lot of us were not humanized in the school system, and I just made a TikTok about that. During our formative years, a lot of us didn't experience what it's like to just exist as women, as girls, completely outside the context of romance and sex. So despite the narrative that some dusties run with that I hate men, I hate black men, I am so grateful for the black men in my life who treat me like the fragile, soft black woman that I am. I love y'all.
I know I've spoken about this in another video about why men and women cannot be friends. Yeah, because most of the times, most of them are auditioning. Basically, that's what this is all about. They are auditioning. They are trying to show you what they can do and how they are going to treat you in the relationship. Some of them are just waiting for their turn, okay? And some of them just can't handle rejection, okay? But aside all of that, every woman deserves a man that will come into her life and pour into her and heal certain wounds. So as long as you're not taking that friendship and making it into a relationship, and you have men at your beck and call, and there's nothing else, it's just platonic, and you're going to let it remain there, make him aware that this is all that there is to it, and you're not going to move from point A to point B, then that's fine. That's fine. But, I'll also say keep your eyes and your ears and everything open. The slightest, be out of there. Okay. But to be honest, I've seen a lot of women talk about this. I've seen a lot of women sharing their own experiences and takes on this whole platonic, male friendship thing. I've even seen some men talking about it. So I'm going to get into some of the videos I've seen. And when I come back and talk, so I'm going to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments.
My boy best friend has set the standard so high for my partner, future partner. He literally bought me the most beautiful bouquet of flowers for my birthday. His family absolutely love me. If my car breaks down somewhere, he's the first one to come and pick me up. He opens the doors for me. He books the most extravagant, spontaneous activities ever. He took me for a speedboat ride around central London the other day. He matches my banter. He's the funniest human on this planet. If I cuss him, he cusses straight back. But it's all love, like he never takes it too far. He picks me up and drops me to my hospital appointments and he waits for me. He orders me food. When I'm in pain, when I'm on my period, he'll come and drop me like a milkshake to my house. And if I'm at his house, he'll make sure there's like a cushion under my leg or a hot water bottle for my belly. I think why I'm still single is because I compare everyone possible to him. And if it doesn't match and top what he already does, it's a no. It goes through him as well. And if bestie doesn't approve, then you're not the one for me. And no, me and him aren't getting married. But that is literally my soul bestie. I don't think I have anyone else on this planet that I can barely laugh with all night and all day, and I will never get tired of him. And I get on with his siblings as well. Yes, men and women can be friends. It works. And yes, most of my male friends have moved to me, but we have never crossed the line. I wholeheartedly love that man with all my heart, and I wish and pray for the most beautiful wife for him because he deserves everything. And this goes to everyone. Don't settle. He has taught me that there are still amazing people left in this world and not to give up because someone's out there for you. Don't overthink it and have a beautiful day.
If you're a woman who's trying to level up in her career, I'm telling you, get you some male platonic friends. It has been my male platonic friends who have helped me so much more than guys I consider my boyfriend. And they literally have never expected anything in return except just being a good friend to them. I feel like nobody talks about this enough, but having male platonic friends, like especially successful ones, they're literally just like a girlfriend, but in guy version. And a lot of the times they are always willing to help you in your career, give you a referral or put you on game or just whatever. I have learned so much from having successful male platonic friends. And again, they are not shy when it comes to helping or giving advice or putting in a referral for me whenever I need it. You don't need a sugar daddy. You don't need a man who's going to just use you for your body in return for something. Get you some male successful friends. Life hack.
I would choose being a nigga homegirl over being a nigga girlfriend any day. Like, niggas love they homegirls. Like, they love they homegirls down. Hate their girlfriends, love they homegirls. They don't got the money, they don't got the time to take their girlfriend on a date. Baby, they're gonna make time, make money to go hang out with their homegirl. Anytime she call, they gonna pick up that phone. It's 3 a.m, they gonna pick up that phone. They with their homeboys, they gonna pick up that phone. They driving, they gonna pull over on the side of the road to pick up that phone for their homegirl. All the business, she know it. She know all the business. Niggas love keeping their homegirls updated on all the business. She know everything about everybody, including his girl. He should probably be going to therapy, but you know who he gonna go to? His homegirl. And she gonna validate them feelings like, no, you're not wrong. You're the best. Niggas don't like people in their business, so they not gonna post their girl. But they homegirl, they gonna post her. MH. Don't forget it. Like to be a nigga homegirl is really to be loved, honestly. To be a nigga girlfriend is to be depressed, to be lonely, to be hated. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know.
I've been the homegirl that's been with the tricking homeboys and the homegirl that's actually just the homie. And over here is the much better quality of friendship. The ones over here, I could say they maybe bought me a drink 3 times since we've been friends, and we stay outside, okay? We be outside. Them over here, they might run up the tab every time. Get whatever you want, do whatever you want. The quality of friendship don't match. And I've always held my friendships up to the same level regardless of gender. That's why in college and high school, I ain't really had guy friends. My homegirls like, oh, them the homies. And I'm like, they cool, they peers and all, but they're not my friends. The same way your mom be like, that's your friend. They wasn't my friend. And I knew they were my friend. I knew they were most likely keeping me around because I was cute. I was fun. These ones over here, better quality of friendship. I went to visit them at school and they took me around like a friend. This is so-and-so. We did an internship with her. We did this and that. Like, this is where we go to school. This is my classes. Like, that's how my female friends treat me. And so over here on this side with the homeboys I'll be tricking, bad quality of friendship. It always got weird, ancestral, weird dynamics. I always felt like it was so conditional. We're over here, much more fun. And they're funnier. Because at the end of the day, if you want to keep a baddie around, I got some friends, okay? And they body tea, and they thicker than me, and they make more money. So keep that in mind, ladies.
Controversial opinion, but guys and girls cannot be just friends if you've never had healthy boundaries or friendships with the opposite sex. Or it's a form of projection because you think everyone else thinks like you. You might also be confusing connection with chemistry, like literally basic friendship level connection with chemistry, or sexualizing everything and everyone you meet. Newsflash, just because you can't be around the opposite sex without catching feelings, turning it into a situationship or relationship, doesn't mean that's true for everyone else around you. Most of us can have platonic friendships without falling in love. Literally a few weeks ago, I posted a video about how I called one of my guy friends and the comments were like, guys and girls cannot be friends. And then I just saw another video of a girl with her guy friend and all the comments were like, yeah, because you guys are gonna fall in love. I wonder why. Like, I would never be friends with a guy that has a girlfriend. Friend that's a girl. Okay, insecurity, like, oh my God. One thing I agree with, there needs to be boundaries, 100%. However, each and every one of my ex-boyfriends had friends that were girls, and that did not make me uncomfortable. You can so clearly tell when someone's a girl's girl and not like the typical boy best friend. If you're a normal human being, you can tell the difference. But like the emotional immaturity when I hear this is down the fuck here. Here's the difference, is every guy I meet since I was at a young age, because my mom made it very normal for me to have guy friends, I didn't look at every guy as, could I date this guy? Could he be my future husband? Could I see a relationship or future with him? It's giving that you've only ever seen the opposite sex as potential prospects to date or hook up with. I have literally gone on dates with guys where I'm like, this would not work in a relationship way, but I could totally see myself being friends with this guy. And if anything, you know that opposite sex, you know that friend on a different level, on a deeper level, because you were friends to the point where you're probably like, I could never date you. I've talked about this before. One of my ex-boyfriends, okay? Our relationship really did not work out. We ended up becoming the best of friends afterward, or years later. I seriously just think it comes down to emotional immaturity and the fact that you've probably never had a friendship or like a healthy friendship with someone of the opposite sex, because it boggles my mind. It feels like elementary school. Like, You're hanging out with the boys, you have a crush on him. Holy shit, grow up.
You know, if we both get to 30 we have found someone, we can just have a baby together. I think the fudge not. I remember when a male friend told me this, and maybe because I'm turning 30 next year, but I did not find it remotely funny. However, it did remind me of a time years back when an ex told me that some of my so-called male friends may be playing the long game, which I was in complete denial because I only saw them as my bros. However, as I've grown older and a little bit wiser, I'm starting to see where he may have been coming from. Have you ever had a close male friend, but as time has gone by, you start to notice subtle shifts in his behaviour and start seeing signs that he may be playing the long game, and you're thinking, hey, there's no way. Whatever feelings there is, delete it, bro. As girls, we're often taught to trust our instincts, but when those feelings are clouded by genuine feelings of friendship, it can be hard to spot the signs of someone's ulterior motives. But I think I have found a way to suss it out. First, ask yourself, does he get jealous when you talk about the guy you're talking to? How is he like when you spend time with other guys? Secondly, pay attention to how he compliments you. Does it feel genuine, or does it come across as sexual or overly romantic? Thirdly, is he always violating your personal space by always trying to touch you, or you're feeling like you're constantly pushing him off you? Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. If something doesn't feel right, my advice would be distance yourself from the friendship and set clear boundaries. Communicate openly and honestly about your feelings, and don't be afraid to tell him about himself if his actions are making you feel uncomfortable. If your so-called male friend is unable to accept your boundaries or accept your feelings, then perhaps it's time to lock off the whole friendship altogether.
I recently had this realization that I am a fill-in girlfriend, and if you have guy friends, you're probably also a fill-in girlfriend to at least one of them. Basically, I have guy friends that when they have girlfriends, I don't hear from them. Like, they completely disappear off the face of the earth, and they only talk to me if they're single. And this is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I definitely benefit from them being single. When they're single, they take me out. They buy me things. We don't sleep together. We don't kiss. Like, it's purely a friendship, but where the male and female dynamic is completely there. And then as soon as there is a problem, or as soon as they're single again, all of a sudden we're hanging out. And these are long-term friendships. Like, some of these friendships are 10 years, but like, I know my place, they know their place. I don't think they would ever cross the boundary and try to sleep with me or do something stupid and jeopardize the friendship, because it's a good friendship. Like, if you have an argument with your girlfriend, I am probably going to be the one to resolve it, but will she ever meet me? No. And this is completely different than being a placeholder. Like, if this is a guy that you actually like and you want to be in a relationship with him, it would never work to be like a fill-in girlfriend or a friend only when this guy is single, because you would just, like, it would be heartbreaking. And I did that one time, young, never again. But yeah, my one guy that I'm a fill-in girlfriend for, recently got a girlfriend, and we were gonna go to this really nice fancy restaurant that I just won't take myself to, and now I'm gonna have to wait until he's single again so I can go.
I don't know what girl needs to hear this, but if your male friend is not sickened, repulsed, emotionally, physically and mentally disturbed at the thought of kissing you, then that is not your friend. A friend should look at you as a sister. Yeah. I don't know any brothers that want to kiss their sisters, so just thought I'd say that quickly.
I don't know what lady needs to hear this, but the majority of the time you don't have homeboys. Them homeboys are either homeboys that you probably filmed before, that you guys are now friends with, or they're plotting and waiting on for you. I really mean this because I know from my own experience, that's not just your friend. Most men, the way that they think, the way that they're operating today, they do not think anything platonic. If you do not accept, I'm the worst person to date if you have women friends, okay? Not insecure. Is just simply because of the fact I can read energy and read and not even just the energy, okay? I can put this into a scientific thing of your behavior, about your inflection of your voice, the way that you said something to her, especially on that specific thing, or even the way that you touched her and where you touched her at. And then it also goes down to how you've been treating me, the person you've been dating, compared to your friend, because now I got to think about what the fuck is you doing? But also on the contrary, right? Even when I've had male friends and they got the chance, they took the chance, okay? Or they tried to, okay? Most people, I just even seen a girl today on TikTok talking about like how her male friend from like middle school had another friend, like friends of a friend of his friend, right? And I guess they had like a whole, I don't know, it's called like a spank bank or something. I don't know. But anyway, they jack off to it. They jack off to pictures of her or whatever. And I've had guys told me before. And I know I used to post very promiscuous shit on Instagram before they blocked me. And a guy literally told me that he did that to me. I said, yeah, this is strange. The point though is that most men are not okay. So when you think that man's your friend, he's not your friend. He's plotting on you, bitch. I'm sorry. Say what you want, but I'm telling you, you should really start. You should let these men prove you wrong and then apologize after. I'm okay being a wrong person, okay? I have no problem ever apologizing to somebody and be like, I am so sorry, I had the wrong idea about you. But bitch, I'm usually right.
So I was talking to my friend the other day, and we were talking about relationships with men, and like she's a little bit more on the side of like you can't have a friendship with men, like it's impossible, they're gonna want something from you. And I'm more on the side of like, well, it depends. But she said something that really made me think, and now like I'm rethinking all of my platonic relationships with men. There was a season for me where I just was not doing platonic relationships with men because I just felt like every guy that I was friends with like secretly was on something else, and then it later came out that they actually were not on platonic vibes, they were on different vibes, and I wasn't having that. I'm not trying to be, you know, in close settings with somebody who has an ulterior motive and is looking for their opportunity, if that makes sense. But now, like, okay, I have a couple platonic male friendships, and like I don't think this applies to all of them, but she basically said like you can't have a relationship with men unless they're getting something from you. And I was like, okay, well, my immediate thought was like something intimate or physical, and that's just not, like, if we're friends, I'm sorry, like, no. But she was like, what about your time? What about your focus? What about your energy? And I thought about like a couple of my male friends, like when they call or they want to talk, we are talking about their problems, we were talking about what they got going on, what they're thinking. Like the conversation always reverts back to them, their experiences with, you know, like it hardly is about me or like expressing myself or how I feel. And I realized most of the time when I'm talking about how I feel, or I'm looking like, or I'm actually being comforted by somebody who cares, it's from a woman. And I was like, oh my gosh, she was right. Like, in order for you to have any type of relationship with a man, platonic or otherwise, but in this sense, platonic, they need to be getting something of value from you, whether that's your time, your energy, your focus, your intimacy, or anything like that. That low-key blew my mind, so I want to share with y'all. But yeah, what do you think? In your platonic relationships with the opposite sex, do you feel like there are instances where it's like 50-50, or do you feel like you tend to give a lot more than you're getting back?
That guy that you're venting all of your business to and you feel like he's putting you down on game because he's a male too is probably the reason that you're still single. For years, I had a male friend that I was very close with, probably for over a decade, and we both were single. And we used to always share our experiences in our dating. And after a while, it kind of got like how you are with your bitter friends, where me and him kind of had this vibe of like, see, like it's pee in a dating pool. And we would kind of come together to confirm that. Really just sharing notes. I think maybe even he thought that it was helping him for me to tell him about how women think. And I thought it was giving me one leg up for me to learn how men think. But he was wrong about a lot of stuff, and he is still single. Same with my brothers, same with anybody that has given me advice. I really was walking around a hot mess, feeling like I had some sort of competitive advantage in the dating world because this guy is giving me advice. Most of the advice he was giving me was not sound. He did not have the same beliefs as me. He was Muslim, I was Christian. He was raised a certain way, I was raised a different way. He was very nitpicky with women and picked apart their flaws and always found ways that there was something wrong with what women do. These type of men are usually misogynistic. They are justifying their misogyny by saying, I'm not a misogynist. I have a female best friend. I have a best friend that's a woman. What we have to start doing is testing the spirit. Look at the person's fruit. Look at what they're producing. Nowadays, people talk about stuff confidently, like they know exactly what they're talking about. So on my birthday, a couple of years ago, we went out together. He lives in a different city. I visited his city. And when we went out, we went our separate ways, right? We're not dating. We've always been strictly platonic. So it's my birthday. I'm turning up, and we kind of reconnected throughout the night and just checking on each other. And then he tells me, I met this amazing woman. And he's like, now she is wife material. She is a wife. He couldn't really put into words like what made her a wife or what made her wife material. But I remember kind of like having a little insecurity in myself. Like, what is it that she did or is doing that I've watched you be single for all these years and now she's so special? And it was always being set up, like, especially because he was Muslim, that he had this strict, specific set of standards that she passed, right? So I haven't talked to him in a while. We would talk off and on, but not really. But now I'm married. So I talked to him recently and was like, hey, I'm married, you know, like I talked to him before I got married. Hey, I'm getting married. So in my mind, maybe he's already married because last time I saw him is when he met this woman of his dreams. Tell me why this man told me, yeah, she was great, but they broke up and now they're going on another date because she just contacted him and they're kind of rekindling things. In the meantime, I done found a whole man, fiance, and then got married, okay? And that was 2 years ago when he met her. What does that tell you? He is a time waster. He don't have no special wisdom. He is just like the F-boys that I dated that always gave me a reason as to why they couldn't marry me or why they couldn't commit. What we tend to do as women is put men on pedestals. This is dangerous because this will actually make you start criticizing other women too based on his things. Like, this is why you see so many people on social media saying a woman will never marry this person. He was the same person that would not date a woman with children. I have 2 sons, and he would always be explaining to me why men don't prefer women with kids. Meanwhile, my husband had no problem with me having children. That was that man's point of view. And if you got a single male friend bestie that is not married and you're in your 30s, maybe even your 20s, watch out for him. Because the other thing that you don't realize is that you are getting in the way of him finding his wife, because he's getting his emotional fuel, his little boost of his ego, anything he would normally get from a relationship, companionship, even if you're not intimate with him, he's sucking the life out of you. He's getting it from you. Another point is that these men surround themselves with women in other environments too, like in work. Like, this particular person would strategically place women around him in his business because they know that women are going to pour into them, women are going to nurture them, women are going to give their full essence to anything that they do and make something better. But whenever it became an opportunity for him to work with a man, he wouldn't. And this is like very stealthy, because this is something that will make you say in your mind, like, oh, this person must respect women a lot. But they're not really respecting women. They're just sucking the life out of women. And it's almost like misery loves company. Like, if that person is perpetually single, then the advice that they're going to give you is based on how they see women, so that you will stay perpetually single. You will just exchange pheromones with this person, and fulfill what you would normally be getting from a marriage or a relationship, just because you have somebody there that's the opposite sex. And for both sides, it can stroke the ego, because you're like, oh, well, this person agreed with me and they're a man, or this person said this is how things work with men, but they're really just speaking on how they feel about specific situations. It's like, if 2 people are single or having relationship problems and they're platonic friends, then they don't ever have to fix themselves. They both are coming together to justify and explain why things aren't working out in the dating field. Meanwhile, other people are succeeding and meeting matches and not making those excuses, or not hanging around strictly friends that support that ideology. So when women are single, I feel like instead of surrounding ourselves with a bunch of men or people that we feel know better than us, aka men, we should surround ourselves with marriage-minded women, women that pray, Christian women that have the same beliefs as you, and start to develop yourself into a woman of faith. And I know that this happens a lot with male family members too, because I see women say it all the time, like, oh, I can't be played, or a guy can't treat me a certain way because my dad treated me this way, or my dad told me this, or my dad put me down on how men really think. And when I used to have conversations with my dad about men, it was usually based on the guilt of things he had done to women. So now he was putting these unrealistic expectations on men because of all the wrong that he had done. So because he had so much guilt, this was his way of, in a sense, like paying it forward. Like, let me teach my daughter how to watch out for predators like me. And it's good to a certain extent. But I just say, like, if you're taking that person's advice, you're not going to God, you're not talking to the Holy Spirit, you're not even listening to yourself, how you feel about things, and you're putting their opinion on a pedestal because of their genitals, I just think that you should rethink that. I can't get that time back that I spent hours and hours of talking to somebody else that I felt like knew, or I felt like could give me advice. And this could even be because the person's older than you. Like, this happens a lot if it's a male figure that's older than you. And I'm not going to go down a tangent of if you have daddy issues, because if you have daddy issues, you're constantly operating from the abandonment wound and the void of, I don't have a male figure. So anybody that comes into your life that you feel is wiser than you and that is a male, even on a subconscious level, you're going, this person is stepping into this role, giving me what I needed from a father. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just a man. Sometimes it's just a person, and they're just telling you something and projecting based on their own experiences. And you were supposed to take that with a grain of salt instead of taking it as law, because it's how they think and not how all men think.
Do you people know that it makes more sense for you to tell somebody that you are physically and romantically interested in, that you first want to get to know them on a personal basis before becoming intimate with them? Or you can straight up just tell them, I want to get physically intimate with you. Is that something you're down for? And if it's not something that they're down for, you go the other way. What doesn't make sense, and so many of you try to gaslight people that you do this to into thinking that it is normal because of how they act, is when you move to somebody under the premise of, I want to be your friend, when you already know that you have the ulterior motive to want to sleep with them. You know that the only reason why you have told them that you want to be friends is so that you can get close enough to smash. And a lot of you want to act surprised when people call you out on this behavior and how deceitful it is. Talking about didn't you say you need to be comfortable with the person before you do anything physically intimate with them? That is why I chose to be your friend first. But you already knew that you were attracted to them and you wanted to do stuff with them later on. But then you told them that you simply are moving to them because you want to be their friend. And now you look like a liar because they know that you have an ulterior motive to want to be their friend aside what you initially said. Pretending to only want to be someone's friend when you have not clearly stated that you know you are attracted to them and want to do other things that are intimate with them is very creepy behavior. Very rapey behavior, if I'm being very honest. Because it doesn't give that other person the option of choice. Because you're not giving them the room to choose if they want to first get to know you on a personal, friendly level before getting intimate with you. I want you to know that your intentions can be genuine even if they are physically and sexually driven. Just be a truthful person. If you have to lie that you want to be their friend so that you can be able to make sexual passes at them later on, then maybe you know that they do not want to do anything physically intimate with you. And maybe you should take that as a hint and go the other way.
Yeah, because what you normally hear from men, the moment they start talking to women, is the expectation and requirement of them to come into their houses, to cook for them, to clean for them, to pay half of the bills, and so on and so forth. So honestly, for me, I'm not mad at it. If you have a man coming into your life who doesn't expect or require anything from you, that does not want smacks from you, does not want you to come into their kitchen to come and cook and clean for them, just because they are talking to you and they decide to pour into you, I'm not mad at it. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, a man who just comes into your life and is like, oh, I just want to be your friend, and he's kind to you, he's lovely, he's taking you on date, buying you flowers, being there for you. We all deserve to be treated like princesses, like goddesses. We deserve that. Because for the most part, the narrative I hear most of the time is for women to come into a man's life and pour into the man. Okay, that's what is usually what is expected and required of women, for women to come into men's life to audition for the role of their girlfriends or their mom wives. Okay, so if that is not the case and you see a man coming in and he doesn't want you to become a mom wife immediately, he doesn't want you to come into the role of cooking and cleaning and making babies and smacks and so on and so forth, and he just wants to be your friend and pour into you, that's probably the best scenario ever, you know? I'm sorry, that may be the best scenario ever, okay? But like I said before, tread with caution, as with everything. Let it remain there. I can't stress on that enough. Don't cross the threshold. Don't move it from point A to point B. Let it be what it is. Okay? And I'm not saying that that's the case for every relationship, that, oh, you are friends and you move from friendship to relationship and everything goes down south. But I've seen so many stories. And to be honest, as someone who used to be of that mindset that, oh, we were friends and we became lovers, I learned the hard way. Let it be what it is, friendship. And that's it. Okay? Okay? And if that's it, then that's it. If it works for you, it works for you. Personally, I will be cautious of that. Okay? But if it works for you, go for it. I'm all for, being cared for, being loved, and all of that. So if a man is coming to your life and he's going to love you, he's going to care for you, he's going to be there for you, and he doesn't want anything in return, which I doubt, because I know that they all want something in return. Okay? And it's just friendship, and he's just being kind to you, and he's giving you advice about relationships and so on and so forth. And he's willing to wash your feet, and he's willing to change your tires, and he's willing to pay the rent and take you on expensive dates, and he wants nothing in return. Enjoy, my dear. Enjoy it. Okay? As long as you don't move it from point A to point B. Because the point B part, to be honest, the results varies. Okay? There's a 90% chance that is going to go downhill. There's a 90% chance that it's all a facade. Okay? There's a 90% chance that there's harbored resentment. Okay? There's 90% chance that is revenge. So be very, very careful about that dynamic. All right? That's all I'm going to say. But if you're happy, I'm happy for you. Okay? But be very cautious about this whole situation. That's all I'm here to say. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about all of this, and I'll see you again in another video. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.